Stop burning out. And what is the truth about giving in for the peace, and how to reclaim your true power, where it is something that you can experience that sustainability of the peace on a daily basis. So let's dive in to that exploration today. And that broadcast is especially for visionary women who are amazing leaders, having amazing visions and purpose in this life. And many times, somehow been programmed to giving in, and it seems like a cute word if even in that given, because part of that word, it's give, so it's a right thing to do. However, that's kind of an old programming that we were sold for many many years, from growing up to, and we continue with that in our environments, in our own families, in our work, business places, where somehow the giving in is so deeply programmed within us. That's the only way to get to some peace, and that giving in continue, and that peace is very fleeting, because it's hard to catch up breath and hard to get yourself out of that. Seems almost like a vicious cycle where it's never enough of that giving in, and people can be demanding when you allow that giving in out of guilt, especially, that they will be just you will be attracting more of those takers. They don't know what is going on inside of you, so they feel like there's nothing wrong with that, and you will just start feeling more that there's something wrong with it, and somehow steering the inner conflict that can really at some point explode, and will be far further from the peace, because you actually start distancing yourself from your actually inner home. You will be trying to stand outside to what is actually inside job, where the only creation can be sustainable and can be created from your inner home, when it is a peaceful environment, and you can create that peaceful environment. When you experience that conflict, is the alert sign to actually it's time to return to your inner home and stop compromising, stop giving in to others and burning yourself to the crisp, because it won't get you anywhere to really create that peace that is beyond your even understanding. So it's not just some illusion or temporary fix that you think you will be satisfied if it only you can get at least a glimpse of it. Once you start glimpsing about it, you want more of that, and the only way actually experience more of that and making that more sustainable is to actually keep returning back to your inner home and creating from that, getting back to your center, getting back to your homey and pleasant environment, and experiencing that peace, and then it will be not you will be start standing in your own inner power. When that giving in, it will be somehow redirected. I'm not promising that it will that will be done forever, because of all those years of that practice of that giving in. It will just start subsiding and being less of importance, because you building that muscle of operating from your own power, coming from your inner home, where you that giving in, you start even be more awakened and aware that you doing that, and keep self-correcting yourself on when it's happening, and keep reclaiming your power on a daily basis. It is a practice. It took you years to keep giving in and burning yourself to the crisp, so it takes time. and to build that muscle. However, the awareness is the first steps, and the willingness to take some steps and actions to experience that peace beyond the understanding. And this month is around the peace, and I being guided for some time, especially this year. It's the last month this year, to bring the perspectives of different words and exploring around those words around physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. They're not exclusive. This is just to emphasis, put more emphasis on one each week. They are all connected. However, the emphasis on one is to see if possibly that area is something that you get to actually somehow create more awareness, put more practice. And then kind of continue with the others to eventually realizing, okay, how you can master those individual areas more to come together to more of that total peace and true peace that is beyond your understanding, and that you can keep standing in your power and using your voice and not giving in so much, because at that point you're not only making a difference, a really true difference for yourself, but it could be really in a true service and difference, and making the true difference to others. You're not give When you're giving in, you're giving your power away. You coming out of guilt, so it's not really something that is sustainable. It's not very a true service to yourself and to others, because when it comes from guilt, it will be guilting continue, and that guilt will be even showing up more, when sometimes even possibly you might actually won't be able to sustain that and burst out to the other person that I just have enough and I don't want to give in anymore, and create even more tension for you, create conflict, create arguments, and it's so easy to do it, especially in a close proximity to your family members, to some friends, to even clients. Even though if you want to be very professional, I even honestly, to be truly transparent, had some situation with some clients when somehow I felt I got to kind of give in, and at some point I was like burning myself, and I started experience even physical symptoms and mental and emotional, and I felt like I'm so far away from my true power that I opened my mouth to the client, who even brought back to me that it's not something that he wanted to hear. And at that point I didn't actually care if he wants to hear or not, because I actually done such a number on myself that it wasn't sustainable, and I just had enough, and I didn't know how to kind of move forward anymore, because I was just keep giving in and not using my voice and keep giving away the power. And the person was not so compassionate or understanding, felt like a client, so they can be demanding and can be even more manipulating than I ever experienced. And I sensed that, and I shouldn't ever actually. That was another big part of me. As allowing to be of service to that client, when there were some even felt like a sweetening the deals and on the best behavior at the very beginning, but there were some kind of signals and some intuitive hit that I shouldn't be taking that uh, shouldn't be taking on that client. And it was just keep unfolding, and it was issue after issue, and require more of that giving in, and it was never enough. And even when I was attempting to raise my voice and reclaim my power, it was so far that person didn't even understand that because they were not in position of understanding, they felt like the client and they can do whatever they want, and I don't have any saying in it. And I start all of a sudden like, okay, so why did they hire me as a professional if I supposed to just keep giving in to them and their wants, and they not taking my suggestions or advice to heart, and they want to do their own way. So this is I know that I'm not alone. You most likely experience those situations in your family members, with friends, with clients, where you gave so much of yourself that was just keep backfiring. You were keep burning yourself to the crisp, and it was still not enough. And you were even at the bigger loss, like how I can create peace, and even the demanding of attempts to that piece might be were not maybe very fruitful to experience that. So over the years, why I'm talking about that, why it's so important to come to those realizations. My life experiences led me to those realizations that it's not sustainable, that it's not worth my time to keep giving in and going against my intuition and dealing with a very demanding and hard-headed clients, but taking a priority of my inner peace was so important. And it was actually even discover that's why I'm here actually, to experience more of that peace. And it is imprinted in my hands, and discovering that giving in is not really it's only an illusion. It's not something that is sustainable, that there's other ways of bringing more of that peace to my experience, to really enjoy and be feeling more of that fulfillment for myself, and make an even bigger difference for others when I'm coming from more of that peaceful place, and not from giving in out of guilt, but from actually my power, where I'm standing in my power. I honoring and respecting myself, and this actually gives permission to others to honor and respect me. And if they don't, there is a choice to be made. Either giving in, or when you experience more, that you can experience more of that respect and honoring, mutual honoring. You rather deal with those situations, and creating deeper connections with those, and expanding on those situations, instead of somehow guilt tripping yourself and giving in again, and doing a number on yourself, and many times it end up backfiring and burning you to the crisp. Sometimes there is some success, and there's really lack of satisfaction. I done that, and I wasn't kind of satisfied, and I was just questioning my choices after, like, why I even allowed that to happen. So learning more about how I can keep coming more from that inner home, inner power, inner peace, to create a better experience for myself, and better connections with the others, and also to share that with the others, to make a difference. I'm not just that's another part, especially for us women, that it feels like if we take care of ourselves, it could be felt kind of selfish. So I rather kind of give in of that service. It's not a true service to you, or true service to others, when, like I described in the example, at some point you just have it. And I know that a lot of women dealing with that all of a sudden they attempting to control uncontrollable and circumstances, because they so far in of that giving in, that losing their mind, and their body is on such alert, and kind of burning, that they just screaming for just even a little bit of catching the breath and the peace, that that it's not something that it's a sustainable thing of living, a sustainable way of doing business, because if you continue to do that in your life with your family member, friends, if you continue to do that with the clients, you will definitely lose and nobody will gain, because if you get yourself in such a mess on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels, being so disconnected, guess what? Nobody will need you because you won't be even able to take care of you at that point, and will require some support to reclaim your power, to come return back to you, to really keep coming. So you either start doing that more willingly from your awareness of and the promise of that more sustainable, and practicing daily some self-care practices. Keep redirecting yourself when awareness and observation become more evident for you, that you potentially giving in, that you somehow overriding your intuition, and keep self-correcting yourself. You start building that strength and muscle where you start reclaiming that power, and start using your voice, and start making a huge difference for yourself, and even bigger for others, where you can make that this world a better place, and make that contribution to this world, and it will be remembered, and people will then will at some event passing, and before that passing, they will feel about you differently, that you inspiring and empowering, and they want to become your friends. They want to create a relation with you. You will start having a deeper connections with your family members and the clients, and start, even when you start coming from that space, you even start becoming like a magnet, and attracting people who will respect you and will honor you, and you won't have to expend the negative, but it will expend more of your energy and power to be of even create influence for the better good, to and that will be feeling fulfilling for you, but also will support a lot of people in this world, even directly, where your communities and your business will expand beyond your imagination, or even just rippling to even from a smaller communities, to create that significant impact on others, when you coming together in a smaller community, and each of that member has their own community, and collectively we can also create significant difference and build our legacies. And that's why my big vision, it's at this point beyond my dream, to create that kind of space where it's a loving, very expanding, joyful, and peaceful place for especially visionary women, where they already committed to their missions, and they're looking for that space where they can co-create together to expand our presence, expand our energies, and create that in that community, that more of that immunity, and build and strengthen the muscles of that reclamation of the power and using the voice. And so when you go out and dealing with the people, you not so you have strength and that immunity, where it's so not wavering, that you're coming from more of that unwavering power, and using your voice, and not giving in to somebody else's power or to somebody else's voice, and crisping, burning yourself to the crisp. So there are some ways, I have mentioned on some examples, some practical ways of how to go about it, especially like I had mentioned. It definitely creates the need of that focus and awareness on a daily basis, and how to go about it. Start simple. Awareness is a big part, like when you start realizing and coming more from conscious, instead of allowing the autopilot subconscious keep operating as you used to, of that giving in. You start noticing the difference, and the more difference you start noticing, that difference will start expanding, and you will be more, even start being more aware of what is happening, and start leading you in the in that direction where you can keep practicing more of that reclamation of your power, and keep operating from your power, and not that giving in. And like I had mentioned, self practices, it could be also very simple. I know that there are such a busy schedules that we all have as a business owners, and dealing with a lot, so it feels like it might not be so sustainable to implement something. However, having some daily, even tiniest self practices create that more of the strength and sustainability to go against those giving in practices that's so deeply programmed, and you will be in a better space, and can keep going and keep evolving your visions, and building your community, and be of that true service to others, when you will be coming from more of the full overflowing cup, and not just empty cup, where you keep somehow it will be so hard to sustain that, and to create especially that peace that you so desire, allowing that breath to catch. Yes, could be even starting with taking some conscious breaths in the morning to recenter yourself, putting your hands on your heart, and feeling that connection within yourself, and putting some intention for the days, reciting something. I don't like the word so much affirmation. However, when you start something that will be resonating, and you will really feel something that it starts with I am, it might also be so helpful for you to be in more of your power. I've been practicing some affirmation, and if they coming from somebody else, and sometimes even if they resonate, if they are resonating, it feels like it is more inspiring and empowering. However, when I just wanted to recite because somebody told me that it's a good thing to do, it's not so empowering, because I might have a different perspective. I might not be still in the place that the other person had, or been. So those things is for you to kind of discover what it really feels authentic to you, what you will be telling yourself, to reaffirming, especially in the morning, or during even the day, to take a couple of minutes. For example, I am, and what you want to put. I'm putting like I am love, I'm joy, I'm peace, I'm light. For example, there are a couple more, or a few more, that I'm reaffirming on a daily basis. However, that would I'm keep focusing not so much of what I'm saying, but putting more, if I'm feeling it, if it feels in alignment with me. So that's kind of the tip of those practical steps, of a few steps that you can be taking, that building that muscles against that giving in, and that illusion of the peace, and keep experiencing that peace on a daily basis, with creating the awareness, with having some daily practices. When you keep coming from more of that peaceful place, it will be that you operating more from that inner power and inner strength, and it will be less less kind of tempting to give in, because you have that. And again, it's a it's ongoing journey when you start observing yourself, and all of a sudden, in out of the excitement that things are working so well, and you start feeling that you're giving in again. Don't judge yourself so much, because you're still in that you're making a progress. So don't judge that progress, so you stop that progress and keep defaulting even more to that giving in. Give yourself grace, give yourself compassion, to keep moving forward, even if there are some kind of challenges that are rising, that all of a sudden you're more aware and you're seeing that you're giving in again. Give yourself grace around it, and somehow give us start understanding what happened there, why you allowed that, and just accept that, or redirect yourself from that position. It's never kind of too late. We're many times feeling okay, we give in and there's no way back. There might be some situation, some might be once you or instead of guilt tripping yourself and judging yourself for your choices, and keep expanding into that energy and talking to everybody that you meet, that again, I kind of give in and I have to deal with that. See how you can correct that, how you can go back to your center with some of those practices that I had mentioned, and be more in that center of yourself, operating more from the power, and asking for suggestion by just asking that question and see what answers will show up, or even journal about it. It's also a very empowering tool, if you feel that it will empower you to come to that realization. Okay, I give in, and now I'm ready to reclaim my power. What's the next step I get to take to feel more empowered and not disempowered? So those are kind of things where that sustainability of that inner peace will be more expanding, and more you will feel it, you will notice that, and keep expanding that, that it's more like becoming a practice. And more fulfilling and satisfying, where you coming from that. And experience a lot of that in your environment, in your body, more of that ease and physical peace, and not just waiting until it's a better time, and that better time might not never keep showing. Something else will be showing and making a priority. So you start creating that awareness and making a priority to experience more of that daily peace. And will not only create that ease in your body, but also create a different environment for you, and attract other the more peaceful people to you. And when there are some tests kind of showing up, you also kind of will be coming more from that grace. You learn that it's not the judgment, but more of that grace and forgiveness, that somehow you you've been kind of steered out of your power and gave up, and given to somebody. Sorry. Well, I will somehow redirect you, and do sorry, do better next time. Sending sending so much love, joy, peace, and light to you, my dears. And feel free to subscribe to this channel. And when you feel that we can connect and co-create, send in the comment connect, and we will be in touch.